Happy New Year's, everybody.
Hello.
It's so nice to be back. Today is...
It's January 2nd.
So, in 2024. I'm Andie. I own the Impossible Knot Yarn Shop, and this is...
And I'm Gina.
She's my helper here in the shop. Do we call you like a... I don't want to say shop girl. That just seems
Shop
weird.
assistant.
Shop assistant. There you go. So, today we have a few things to show you, and we're going to talk about our little Sophie knit along that we're going to be doing this month, starting soon. But I have a bunch. Before Christmas I just went on I have a bit of cast on Artus, so I started a bunch of color work projects, and of course over Christmas normally I take everything home with me and I go through all my projects, but we traveled this year for Christmas, and when you're at people's houses you don't do color work projects.
No.
You can't set up your pattern,
All of your
and,
charts.
yeah, and like count while everybody's chatting with you. So I left all that, and they're only so far ahead, but I have one finished object and a handful of projects with movement on them. And Gina's got a finished...
One finished object and a brand new New Year's cast on.
Yes. Did you cast on New Year's?
Yesterday, yes.
I finished a project. I'll show you my finished project, my finished object. That's the Alpine Bloom hat by Caitlin Hunter. So this is done in Briggs and Little Durasport in that gray color. And then the background, the pattern is all done in Queensland Collections Rainbow Beach, which is a long, sport weight, long color work, a long color changing yarn. Similar in idea to... similar in idea to
Spin cycle.
Spin cycle, yeah. It's a little bit finer than the Durasport, but they play well together. Once it's blocked, it's quite beautiful. It's a longer hat, so it's the kind of hat that has a little bit extra in the top. Very popular fit, but it was super fun to do, and I just love the color change. So it goes from darker to lighter, and then it was starting to go darker up here at the top. But I started this one just before Christmas. Didn't take it with me. It was the weekend before Christmas. I had gotten a little ways in. I actually had started with a dark color background, but the purple just didn't pop enough on the dark color background, so I tore that out and started fresh. I'd like to do Durasport in that dark color. It was, I think, the charcoal, and do just white Durasport or natural colored Durasport for the pattern. It would be really pretty. It's a super fast little pattern if you like color work, so easy to follow. But that was my finished object. So your finished object?
My finished object. So I have a backstory. This is my Advent calendar project, if that makes sense. It's a pair of socks. I did nothing but socks in December, and a blanket, a little bit in a blanket. But this was my Advent calendar.
It's so cute.
It still needs to be blocked. All of these are 24 different colors of All Points North. For the most part, sweet sock. And then there's one little intruder. This is Drop Snort.
Drop Snort.
Yeah,
An
Drop
intruder.
But yeah.
How could you? Well, also you used for the gray.
Oh, the gray is Cascade Heritage Sock.
Yeah, that's one of some of our solids.
Just so I had like a solid to go with it. Super easy vanilla sock. And what I did, during December, I just knit one stripe every day, which is
like five
rows times 2.
And I said, isn't that a lot of ends to weave in? And so she holds up the second sock, and I'm like, oh. Wouldn't a cute pattern be a pair of socks where out the back you have all the ends and you just tie them into little tassels all out the back of the sock? Wouldn't that be cute? Not on the foot, obviously.
Not on the foot,
but on the back of the leg.
I started with the weave them in as you go, and I just don't really like the result of it. Like it's okay in a blanket.
I like to weave my ends in after.
Yeah, so I still have to do that. I actually don't mind weaving in ends. I see it as like part of the process, and it's meditative. I often make her weave in my ends. I mean, I pay her to be here, so it's part of her job duties. Yeah, here you go. It's your job. Yeah, and I actually quite enjoy it. So other than this, I finished 3
different pairs of socks in December.
Yeah. She does a lot of socks in other yarns, so she really likes yarn.
I like yarn.
She buys yarn from all over, and we don't really show, I buy yarn from all over too, but we don't really show projects made in those yarns because
then
it's not the shop. We don't have it here. So,
yeah.
but I have a bunch of projects. I have quite a few projects that haven't got any movement. So the field sweater has only got a few more rows. I just have so many projects now that we're slowing down a little bit and getting things done. But the field sweaters had a few more rows added to it, so we're still not to separating for sleeves yet. I finished a blanket, a crochet blanket out of Bernat blanket yarn, which we do carry in the shop but isn't on our website, for my son for Christmas, and he's been sleeping under it every night since. So I feel like I need to make it just a tiny bit bigger for him though, so I might go around the outside with the last little bit.
So how long did that take you?
A couple of weeks. But I could get probably 8 to 12 inches a night but I didn't work on it every night. And I have to do it after he goes to bed, and so I only have a couple of hours a night to work on it, and that's and it's hard. Crocheting is a little bit hard on my hands, and the blanket's so heavy. So at the end, I actually had the blanket like tied up with string to try to keep it all together for shifting it around to flip it to do the other side.
You're a very fast crocheter too.
It was like half double crochets all the way across, and then I just did two. Did I just do one round around the outside or two? I can't remember, but it's only about, I don't know, 3 feet wide, 3.5 feet wide, but by like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or not quite 5 feet tall. So my son is 5'4", he's 11. But the little blanket I made for him it was quite small. It was just a little blanket. It was too small. He pulled it up to here and all his legs were sticking out. So it was time for a new one. And I did it in an olive color, a grade blue color, and a pale gray. So it's sort of a tan gray color. And he really likes it. So that's, yay. I had to box it all up, and it was specifically from Mom. And I gave it to him when we were at our friend's house so that he slept under it because he had a separate room there. So he wouldn't be lonely. He cuddled up under my blanket. I started, and I'm pretty sure I've shown the Artus before. I
think last time.
And I actually don't remember whether I showed you and it's still in the same place or not, because I haven't really had a chance to grow it. But this is the beginning of the Artus. I think it might actually be in the exact same spot as the last time I showed it. I'm pretty sure I remember holding it up. But it's got that beautiful texture with a little bit of colorwork bands here. We got one more band to go after one more section, and then there's some beautiful colorwork at the end, which I am so excited to get to. But
what
colors,
yarn are you using?
This is the Drops Alpaca, and the colors that I'm using are these guys. So we have an acid green, sort of a heathered pale teal, a dark teal, and a brown in the natural, which are kind of blowing out, but you can see. And I'm really excited to do these colors. Now there is an Sophie KAL this is a pattern by Natasja Hornby, and if you go onto her Instagram, you'll find lots of notes I believe it starts now because it's in the new year.
I think so, yeah.
So if you're interested in knitting that, there is a current knit along for that. It's a big one, so it should be interesting to see the color combinations that people put together for their shawls. That's one of the favorite things I like about it.
And the different yarns too.
I might join them because I do already have one started, but it's pretty much in the beginning. It's kind of addictive. It's not a difficult, like this texture, this waffle texture is not difficult, and I love the drops. I know it's not as thick. I think she used their Rustic Sport. That's Lichen and Lace's Rustic Sport. We don't carry it here in the shop, but Rustic Sport is dyed on Briggs and Little's Sport base, and we do have a selection of colors of the Sport, and we could technically order more, like I want to.
They have lots of colors.
They do.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of colors. Speaking of sport, so this is my theme, I think, recently is sport weight, isn't it?
I think so.
The other color work that I cast on besides this before Christmas was Caitlin Hunter's Autumn Alpine. So it didn't get very far because of Christmas. And I did change my neckline a little bit because I didn't do this part is also a little line normally up here. But I have it started, so you can see the little tops of my flowers have been started all the way around. And my shaping has happened at the back of the neck. But this is as far as I've gotten, and this is the Briggs and Little Sport. And so there's an olive, like a khaki color here, and this is...
it's like a heather purple.
It's a heather dark purple, deep purpley maroony color, but I can't remember the name of it.
Mulberry?
Oh, yes, that would be Mulberry. So Mulberry and khaki, I believe.
Yeah.
And these two colors, I can't wait. I was originally going to do something different. I was going to use the Rainbow Beach in the neckline, and then decided I'll just use a solid and a solid, so they'll be the same. And I'm very happy with the purple and green, that khaki colored green. But this is going to be hopefully one of the projects I work a lot on. I need to get the field done. But I'm at the boring knitting stage of the field, and you know, you get the color work done, it's so exciting, and then you have to finish the rest of the sweater.
It's just like knit.
Yeah, so I have a few things that I have to, oh, same with my Novelli, which is in the exact same place, because I'd split for sleeves, and I haven't even touched it. I don't even know where it is. I have so many projects on the needles right now that I have been, so these needles aren't the needles I was working on. You can see they're really long because I had to take the needles out that were in here to work on something else. So I have, because I also started a hat out of my new All Points North DK. I had dyed up a sample batch of it, and I've chosen it. So I have a specific one that my new base, and I'm so excited about it. But I dyed London Fog, which is sort of a pale tan color, very pale tan color, and it's really pretty, and it's so soft. But I've cast on a little bit of a hat, and I decided to do 6 inches of ribbing, so I have a really good fold over, and I don't have to worry about any fear of the pearls showing. And it's a 1x1 rib, just a basic vanilla hat, and 6 inches of vanilla 1x1 rib is like, it's like my least. I think I would rather weave in ends than do 6 inches of 1x1 rib. I don't know about you guys, but everybody's got that one thing that kind of is very uninspiring, and that would be it. Or just plain, like if I have 12 inches of just plain knitting in the round, that's also kind of uninspiring, but that's okay. I'll push myself to get more work maybe on the field and split for sleeves, so we can see some motion on that. I have one more project in the works.
Is it the same project that I have?
No.
No?
Oh, I guess I have 2 more projects, but I have one more one more project. And this is the one that I was so excited to do. And the MaineVest. So I have gotten quite a bit more done. So this is a MaineVest by Clarissa Schellong. It's MaineVest is all one word too. She doesn't put a space in between it. So if you were looking for it, that's the way to find it. So I got it made in the round. We still haven't done the double knit fronts yet. We do that later. And the double knit fronts will be down here. And then pick up, of course, knit ribbing around the arms. But I've gotten it in the round, joined, the sleeves joined. And now it's just knitting on the bottom. And this is Estelle's Eco Shetland worsted, held double with Drops mohair, Drops Kid Silk mohair. And it's in that Birch colorway with the Kid Silk, I don't remember, I think it's like light beige or something like that. And the color is so pretty. The only sad thing is, I don't know what I've done, whether my gauge has changed or whether I didn't choose the correct size in the beginning, but it is not going to fit me. So again, Gina is going to be super happy because it's going to be something that will fit her probably, but it'll be a shop sample.
I have it here.
I had said I would do this color because that's similar to the color she used, the designer used in all her photos, and it's really pretty, but I'm very pale, and so I had said, oh, I kind of wish that I had done it in, there's a couple of really great colors of this yarn, there's even a bright red, but There's kind of a burgundy color, which is really lovely. And there's also sort of a tealy, brighter than this, but a tealy blue color, which would be really nice.
And I think the plum would look really nice.
Yeah, that burgundy kind of color.
Keep pushing her towards that.
I know. So when this is finished, maybe I'll cast on another one. I got to just double check my sizing to make sure. I might have just chosen the size too small for me, or maybe my gauge was off on my swatch, but it is a little bit, I mean, who knows? Once it gets blocked and everything, maybe it will be big enough. I don't know. But at this point, I'm just doing plain knitting, purl one side, knit the other side until it's long enough. So I've got a little ways to go. But for Christmas, in the last a few weeks, we've gotten quite a bit of this done. Joining in the round was amazing. Finishing one side and joining in the round was awesome. It has really great. This is Judy's Magic cast on along here, and it's worked in the round, the collar. I just love the way it's.
I love that. It's so pretty.
And I can't wait to do that little double knitting. So I think you pick up stitches all along here, and then you're working back and forth. So I'm very excited about it, doing the double knitting bands down the front, and then picking up the sleeves. Things might change once it's blocked.
And keep in mind that waffle stitch likes to grow a good 10%.
Yes, and I don't know about you, but when I knit a vest, I always think it's too small until I get the ribbing on, because it's a lot wider than it looks once you get ribbing on both sides. So we'll see. The armholes are big enough; they're come down far enough, but we'll see. It may still be a Gina project instead of an Andie project, which is a thing. But it barely fits in my bag now because it's so fluffy.
It's growing.
I know.
Like
I love the Shetland. Estelle's Eco Shetland. It's
something in that.
It's woolen spun, and it's a little, like, it fluffs up a little bit, blooms a little bit when you wash it. But it's fairly fine worsted, so you could knit it. I'm knitting an Aran gauge with a worsted and mohair, and it's getting between a worsted and Aran gauge because it's a little fine, a little bit, but it feels so nice. I don't know about you, but it's fairly soft rustic for a rustic yarn. So the only thing that we have left is our works in progress, and it's because of our knit along that we're starting.
Yes, on Friday.
I love that you're doing it in the color you're wearing. Camouflage. So we're doing this a Sophie knit along. So if you've never seen the Sophie, it's a PetiteKnit pattern. She does such beautiful. It's such a little teeny, very classy little scarf. And it comes in 2 sizes. The small just wraps around once and ties, so you can wear it like a little bandana type thing. I've seen people do it in their hair, or and the large wraps around twice with just little ends.
And then you just tie it.
Gina's worn hers quite a few times in some of our
lot. I wear this a lot. This is my first that I've ever done.
Yeah, and this was the first I ever did.
I followed the pattern for the larger, wider size, or the longer size, so you can wrap it twice.
I used the same yarn in a different color, and because it's a 50-gram ball, I just didn't want to waste a little bit of it, so I actually knit mine a little bit longer until I was halfway through my ball, and so you can kind of see that mine is just a little bit longer than Gina's, so my little tails hang longer down when I tie it up. But you can actually go around almost 3 times with this and just make little ties. So if you are the kind of person that just wants, just a little bit of, when you zip up your jacket, I probably could just loop it and just do through like this. Yeah, easy. Yeah. It's a cute little thing. We did ours originally in the drop sky. It's a DK weight. The pattern's a DK pattern, but you can literally use.
You can use any DK. So,
or you can be like Gina.
Or you can be like me. So we did it in drop sky, and then you've seen me wear this. I did this for Valentine's Day last year. This is All Points North Divine DK, and I did the exact same stitch count.
And it's a plump DK.
It's a plump DK, so you can see how
a little bit bigger
it changes depending on what the yarn you use. Yep. Or you could be more adventurous. Yes. I thought I'd be a little more adventurous this time, and I'm using Drops Air.
Yeah, just like her sweater that she's wearing
here. Just like my sweater. So I am one to buy a safety ball. whenever I do a sweater.
Oh, so you have extra.
So I have extra, and usually I don't actually break into that safety ball, and then I have a random ball of yarn, which is great for like hats and that kind of stuff. So I'm using my extra for a Sophie scarf.
It's a kind of pattern that you can kind of do it in whatever gauge you like, and
Yeah.
all she needs to do, if she doesn't want to buy another ball of yarn, because it is bigger, this is an Aran weight instead of a DK, and you're using bigger needles?
I'm using a 5.5 millimeter needle instead of the 3.5 recommended in the pattern.
Yeah, so basically you just need to
just
weigh
weigh
your
it.
ball. So a little kitchen scale, we say it all the time, is the best purchase. They're $20, $25. You can get them on Amazon or probably your local kitchen store.
grocery store
The
has
grocery
them,
store.
yeah.
Yeah, do they?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I got mine from the grocery store.
And they're battery operated. You turn it on and you just weigh your ball. And when you get to just before half, so if it's a 50-gram ball, you want to go to like
48 or so.
you only want to use about 48 grams or 49 grams. Like that 1 gram probably will get you a few rows. Just because you might have made a mistake in your increases on the way up, and so on the way back you just want to make sure you have. So it increases like this, and then it decreases, or so it increases on one side and decreases on the other. And it's going to be so cute.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Just increase until you're halfway, and then
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna also compare it to my already existing ones just to see, but it's a little good experiment.
are you going to put a project on Ravelry for this one?
It's already on there.
Oh, good. I'm bad at doing that.
Yes, yeah, should already be on there.
So I've already started my Sophie as well, car ride to the coast. So I'm using the All Points North Divine DK because we have discontinued the base. We still have plenty in stock, but we have discontinued. I just thought it would be nice if I had a little something for myself out of the Divine DK. This is one of my Pedro Pascal inspired colorways called Tiger Daddy. So it's like rust colors and several different blues and white. So it kind of reminds me of the ocean or like a koi fish kind of in the water. But I will just go until I'm gonna follow the pattern because I have 100 grams. I'll just follow the pattern and make it the size it should be. Feels so soft though.
It's really nice. I really like it in the DK.
Yeah, and you're not stuck. You can use so if you want to use a little mohair, you could use fingering weight and mohair. If you wanted to work it just a little bit bigger than standard, you could use you could use a DK and mohair. Just use a little bit bigger needle. Now I'm using a 4 millimeter needle with this yarn because I feel like I'm a tight knitter already, and a 3.5 is just too small for this. But the nice thing about it is it doesn't take very long to actually get something on the needles with these. And if you don't like the gauge, you can pull it out and try again with another needle. But our knit along goes from January 5th, so it'll be this Friday. We're going to have a cast on party on Zoom. We have a Ravelry page. It's Impossible Not Crafters. So if you search that on Ravelry, you can find it. And we have a thread for the Sophie KAL 2024. And we have some little prizes at the end because the knit along is only a month long. So February 2nd. So it ends
Friday.
just at the beginning of February. We might have a check-in in the middle, but we need people to post on Ravelry if you're going to join. And, we love pictures. You can show us your yarn or tell us what yarn you're going to do and any changes you're going to make to the pattern. We love to see it.
Yeah, we'd love to see pictures.
Yeah, we'll post on the Ravelry page all the information about the Zoom meeting closer to the date.
Yeah.
I kept meaning to post about different options for yarn, but literally you can use any yarn you like, just to be aware that a ball of yarn may not be enough if you're going to use a much bigger yarn, and just to be aware of how long it's getting. So if you want it to go around twice, you could just kind of hold how wide you've got knit and see how far your tail goes around. So if you're halfway through your ball, is it going to be big enough for you, and whether you need another ball or not. But it's going to vary. I really like the Sophie, so we're super excited about this little bite-size knit along.
And I'm gonna cast on another one on Friday during our cast on party, and I'm thinking fingering and mohair.
Very nice. That's a great option. I might do another sky Sophie just because I want to try one of there's a pink color and a reddish color, but there's so many yarns you can knit it out of. Another one that would be good would be the Briggs and Little's, not Briggs and Little, Barocco's Vintage DK. Vintage DK is really soft and easy care, and it's got that little bit of wool, but it's not scratchy. So it's quite lovely. I haven't decided yet. I'm sure I'll cast on more than one. You'll be surprised how fast these work up, because it's just garter and it's got this cute little edge, I-cord edges on it. But if you haven't had a chance, take a look at Sophie Scarf online and on Ravelry and see. But if you want to join us, that's what it's for. Other than that, all my other projects are stagnant. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's literally okay.
Yeah, I'm still working on my November.
One row at a time.
I'm on Sleeve Island, and I just I pull it out. I have it beside the couch, so I just pull it out whenever I feel like it. I do really want it done though, because I want to wear it.
Yeah. And it hasn't been cold enough here in 100 Mile. We had a green Christmas.
Yeah.
We haven't had enough cold weather to make me panic knit a blank car blanket yet, because I will panic knit a car blanket at some point, or crochet. I don't know. Yeah. I might just crochet fast. I might just crochet some of the burlap blanket, because it's easy. So you just throw it in the washing machine in the dryer, and it's like. I just wonder though, because of the one time I took a car ride and I was coming home and I spilt my coffee and then I spilt my water, and the only thing I had to clean up, because I had no more, for the second spill I had no more paper towels or anything, was my shawl to wipe up that. Like, is a blanket made out of burlap blanket going to be very absorbent?
Oh, good point. Probably not.
Probably not. So I'm like, I might need to make it out of a woolier yarn, but it's got to be thick. Something like this, the King Cole chunky tweed, or even the wool, but like the drops air would be so nice. Like, I don't know, maybe I need a shishi car blanket. I think I might need a shishi car blanket. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, and I honestly hope that everybody gets not all their wishes come true, but everything that you need to make you happy happens in 2024 for you. We're so blessed with the customers that we have that come in. We had people coming in just to wish us Merry Christmas over the holidays, and we love everybody that supports us. This community is amazing. But I hope you all get everything that you desire this 2024.
All the health and all the happiness.
That's right. And all the yarn.
And all the yarn.
All the projects, all the casting on and not finishing it's totally okay. I give everybody permission to not finish your projects. I had to do that for myself, because I felt bad, but it's not a big deal. Anyways, have a happy new year, everybody. And we'll see you in
see you soon.
maybe 3 weeks. All right.
Bye.